My job is trying to make everyone come back in 3 days per week starting in January. After almost 4 years of working at home, and after being approved to work 100% remotely on a permanent basis, the Fortune 200 company I work for is now saying they are making everyone come back into work 3 days a week, and they seem serious about it. This has worked tremendously for my life and I do not want to go back. And this is a complete reversal of all the "we want to provide our employees with what make most sense for their life" propaganda from when they announced the new WFH policies. They're just copying what other larger companies are doing. My husband and I sold one of our cars because of this. And I'm freaking out because I don't know what to do. Any insight, comfort from any of you would be much appreciated. This is a way to do layoffs without the bad PR. They know people won't come in. So there goes your reduced headcount. Bonus for not having to pay severance or unemployment. Hey op, I went through the same thing a year ago and here's what I wish I did. Like many people stated, start looking for new remote work immediately. However, it's very competitive landing a remote job these days unless you are highly specialized. In the meantime, just keep doing your work and do not RTO. A lot of my friends who still have remote jobs today simply declined to RTO when their managers told them. Several lost their jobs, but just as many still have them as the company wasn't ready to fire a productive worker who wasn't causing a fuss. This will buy you as much time as possible in the event they do end up firing you because you do not RTO. Also, I received unemployment when I described my being fired with being promised remote work. Edit. That was rescinded. I would start looking for another remote job ASAP. Big companies think they can change the rules whenever they want. The more good people quit rather than RTO, the sooner they will realize that these heavy-handed tactics won't work. They will only lose the best workers who have other opportunities. It's so goddamned hilarious. The stupidity of these mindless organizations. We're a company. We want to do more business this year than we did last year. Ad infinitum. Our entire business is run on laptops and cell phones and lives on cloud-based operating systems and storage and can be accessed anywhere in the country. But we can only hire people who live within driving distance of buildings randomly placed throughout the country. After the pandemic, we went back to hybrid. And I went back to lying about going in, as no one I work with is even in the same state or on the same shift. Just don't go and continue doing your job. Play dumb that you thought it didn't apply to you seeing you were given a 100% remote exemption. Don't draw attention to yourself by complaining. Your manager is very much powerless to change anything here, so you'll only annoy them. Is your manager in the same location as you? If not, even better. Most managers just want an easy life, so if you make it easy for them to ignore by not escalating, they will probably have your back. I love having to come into the office so I can sit on Teams and meet with people in other offices. My work did this. Our programmer moved to a completely different state 900 miles away 3.5 years ago. In early 2020, he had gotten everything done and no issues until they asked him to come back and he said he moved. They asked him who approved his move. He said he didn't have to ask anyone for anything to do with his personal life. Band together and refuse. Last year, the company my husband works for says 1 day in the office per quarter. We also sold one of our cars. Now they are saying 3 days in the office per week, but due to the nature of my husband's job, it's really all or nothing. Traffic is horrible and a 40 minutes commute takes more like 1 hour to 1 hour 15 minutes each way. It's like getting a pay cut and losing valuable home hours between the costs of commuting and Commuting time. Just don't go in and make them fire you for it and then claim unemployment. Start looking for jobs in January and make a switch if you find something good. My company started doing that too. I go in for 1/2 day a week. Dig out the email or paperwork where you were approved to work 100% remotely on a permanent basis, and forward that to HR with the "making everyone come back" email and politely sweetly remind them, "I believe that I'm excluded from this RTO. Please confirm." This happens to me, and I've been trying to cope with it for over a month or two now. I feel exhausted and just made up my mind to find another job which requires me to go to the office 1 day per week. Remote job is slowly fade away, so at least once a week is acceptable for me. My company is doing the exact same thing. I accepted an offer elsewhere last week and turned in my resignation on Monday. Good luck trying to find another remote work job. I'm sure the second they put out that statement, hundreds, if not thousands, of your coworkers immediately rushed to start looking to scoop up any remote work jobs on the market right now. Large corporation, 40K employees. Here. Started with 3 days and now 4 days. Being in the strategic group with budgeting. The management team wants folks to quit, so no package is required. This is 2 birds with 1 stone to cut down on the expense sheet. We also had a reduction in workforce. RIF. 2 weeks ago and another in January. Don't let them win. If my company did that to me, I'd work less hours, not more. Since I'm not commuting or getting dressed, I just work a bit more. There is something to be said about office interaction motivating synergy. But for every useful thought you come up with via bouncing ideas off of each other at the water cooler, you have to wade through 100 mentions of Aunt Margot's lumbago or some dumb Marvel movie that just dropped. What do you have in writing about working from home?
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.